Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking into something kind of different, something that's got me both really interested and a little skeptical, I guess.
Yo, yeah.
Tap to earn games. Ever heard of them?
Yeah, definitely. I've been seeing that term pop up more and more.
Yeah. Wait, it's this new investment trend, they're saying, like aimed at Gen Z.
Makes sense.
Yeah. The whole idea is that you play a mobile game,
Right.
you rack up points, and then somehow you turn all that tapping into
Yeah.
actual investments. It's wild.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting how these games are tapping into that shift we're seeing, like in the financial landscape.
For sure.
Gen Z's relationship with money, it's different than previous generations.
Definitely.
They want things to be engaging. They want accessibility. They've grown up with instant gratification and virtual assets.
Totally. And traditional investing
Yeah.
just feels, well, traditional,
right, complex.
yeah, like totally out of touch
Exactly.
with their digital lives.
Yeah.
So that brings us to today's focus. Goat Tapper. Have you
Yeah.
ever heard of this one?
I have. Yeah, I've seen some stuff about it.
It's gotten a lot of buzz because it claims to let you invest in real estate just by playing.
Wow.
I know, right? Real estate through tapping.
That's a new one.
It sounds a little too good to be true.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know. What do you think? Like initial thoughts?
It's definitely an innovative approach, I'll give them that. I
Yeah.
think to really understand the appeal, we need to look at why Gen Z is so drawn to it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
They're digital natives, right? They're totally comfortable with this idea that virtual actions can have real-world implications.
Right.
Take fractional real estate investing, for example.
Okay.
It's been gaining a lot of traction because it lets people buy smaller pieces of property.
Ah, I see.
It makes it way more accessible.
Makes sense.
Mm.
Especially for people who maybe don't have the capital for like traditional real estate.
Exactly.
Okay, so is that what GoTapper is doing? Like tapping into that same desire for accessibility?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so walk me through how this actually works. Like,
Yeah.
does tapping on a cartoon goat just magically manifest a property deed?
Uh-huh. No, not quite that simple.
Okay.
But the gameplay itself is actually pretty straightforward. It follows that familiar mobile game structure.
Okay.
You tap, you earn points, complete challenges, you level up.
Okay, basic.
But the twist is how they leverage those points.
Okay.
So they have this system. They call it the goat drop auction.
Goat drop auction.
Okay. And that's where players use their points along with GTPR tokens, which is the game's cryptocurrency, to bid on fractional ownership of real-world properties.
Hold on. So the tapping earns you points. The points help you get these GTPR tokens.
Yeah.
And then you use the tokens to bid on property.
Exactly.
Like a game within a game.
You got it. And that fractional ownership, it's actually represented by NFTs,
NFTs. Okay.
non-fungible tokens, which are basically unique digital assets recorded on a blockchain.
Okay, so like owning a piece of company stock.
Kind of, yeah, but instead of a company, it's a building. You're holding a token that verifies your ownership of a portion of that property.
Okay, wait, blockchain. NFTs. This is where I start to get a little lost.
I hear you. It can seem like a lot.
Yeah, especially for a game about tapping.
Right. But the blockchain part is actually really important here
Okay.
because blockchains are tamper-proof, they're transparent.
Right.
So using them for NFTs means that your ownership is secure and easy to verify.
Okay.
It cuts out the middleman,
Mhm.
provides a direct link between the game and the real estate assets.
So there's real tech underpinning this like whimsical capping world.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got to talk about these GTPR tokens for a second.
Sure.
We've seen a lot of game-based cryptocurrencies
Yeah.
like crash and burn,
Yeah.
What makes GTPR different?
Right. It's a valid concern.
Yeah. Is it just another meme coin destined to fade away?
Well, I think what sets GTPR apart is that it's designed to have actual utility within the game.
Okay.
Players can use it to unlock features,
Yeah.
boost their progress, and of course, participate in those goat drop auctions.
Okay, so it has a purpose.
Exactly. And that built-in demand helps to stabilize the token's value.
So it's not just like a speculative asset.
Right.
It's actually fueling the GoTapper ecosystem.
Exactly.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
But we've also seen, a lot of crypto projects,
Yeah.
even ones with good intentions,
Yeah.
struggle to actually stay afloat.
For sure.
So how is GoTapper planning to maintain the token's value over the long run?
Well, one strategy they've implemented is a buyback and burn mechanism.
Buyback and burn. Okay.
Yeah. So Goat Tapper uses some of their revenue to buy back GTPR tokens from the market, and then they destroy them.
Wow.
So by controlling the supply, they're aiming to boost the value of the remaining tokens.
So literally taking tokens out of circulation.
Exactly. It's like a controlled deflation of their crypto economy.
That's pretty clever.
Yeah.
It seems like a way to tackle those sustainability issues that plague so many other play-to-earn games.
Right.
But isn't that risky? Could it backfire?
Well, there are definitely risks. Just like with any financial strategy,
Right.
the effectiveness of the buyback and burn really depends on a lot of factors,
Yeah, like what?
Like the overall health of the platform,
Uh-huh.
market conditions.
Okay.
If they're not generating enough revenue, it could be unsustainable in the long run.
So it sounds like they're taking steps to avoid some of the common pitfalls, but it's still too early to tell if it's truly sustainable.
Right.
Okay, but let's bring it back to the players for
Yeah,
a second.
sure.
Specifically Gen Z.
Yeah.
Why are they so drawn to this whole tap-to-earn fractional ownership thing? It seems so different from traditional investing.
Yeah, it is. It's a very different approach.
Yeah.
But I think it speaks to Gen Z's desire for accessibility and ease of use.
Okay.
So Goat Tapper requires a much smaller initial investment than traditional real estate.
Yeah,
And the game-like interface makes it less intimidating.
for sure.
It just aligns with their digital lifestyle and their comfort with virtual assets.
Right? It's like sneaking in a financial lesson while they're busy tapping away.
Exactly.
And let's be honest, it's definitely more engaging than watching stocks slowly inch up and down on a spreadsheet.
Right.
But beyond the low barrier to entry and the fun factor,
Yeah.
is there something more fundamentally appealing to Gen Z about this concept?
Yeah, I think there's a deeper appeal related to ownership and control.
Okay.
Gen Z is entering adulthood, facing all these economic challenges,
Yeah.
like rising housing costs, student loan debt.
It's rough out there.
Yeah. Traditional paths to ownership can feel out of reach.
Totally.
So games like Goat Tapper offer this sense of agency,
Right.
Like they're allowed to participate in a market that might otherwise seem inaccessible.
Okay, so it's not just about potential financial gains.
No.
It's about being part of something bigger.
Exactly.
Speaking of being part of something, I understand there's a strong community aspect to GoTapper as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Really, people are connecting over their shared love of tapping goats and virtual real estate.
It's a thing.
Wow.
Yeah, Goat Tapper really leans into that social engagement.
Exactly.
They encourage players to share their progress, their achievements, even their real estate wins on social media.
Wow.
There's also a referral program where players can earn rewards for bringing in new users.
So it's not just about individual games.
No.
It's about being part of a larger movement,
Right.
like a community of like-minded investors,
Mm.
all united by their tapping fingers.
I love that.
Could this strong community actually contribute to GoTapper's long-term success?
I think it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
A dedicated and active community can provide invaluable support, feedback, and even organic marketing for a platform like this.
That makes sense.
They become invested, literally and figuratively, in seeing the platform thrive.
Okay, so we've got engaging gameplay, we've got this unique token system, a focus on community building, and a target audience that seems primed for this type of experience.
Yeah.
But the million-dollar question remains.
What's that?
Is GoTapper just a passing fad, or is it here to stay?
That is the question, isn't it?
It is.
It's too early to say, for sure.
Huh.
But to really answer that question, we need to dig a little deeper into Goat Tapper's approach to sustainability.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. So one thing that makes Goat Tapper kind of stand out is that they're not just relying on player spending, to make money.
Okay.
They've got these multiple income streams, like those auction fees we talked about.
Right.
Players can also buy in-game boosters or premium features if they want.
So they're diversifying their income,
Exactly.
not just relying on people pouring money into GTPR tokens.
Right.
That seems like a more stable foundation.
It is, yeah. And they've even hinted at partnerships and advertising down the line,
Oh,
which
yeah,
could really
yeah.
boost their revenue. But what's really key here is their commitment to reinvesting that revenue back into the platform.
Okay.
They're using it to fund new features, attract more players, and ultimately drive growth.
So they're playing the long game,
Yeah.
not just looking for a quick cash grab.
Big.
That's reassuring, I gotta say. But I'm still curious about the specifics of these goat drop auctions.
Yeah.
How do they actually work? Is it like a free-for-all?
Yeah.
Where players are just frantically tapping to outbid each other
Uh-huh.
for a virtual slice of a beachfront condo?
It's a little more structured than that.
Okay.
So Goat Tapper curates a selection of properties. divides them into those fractional NFTs we discussed,
Right.
and then lists them for auction. Players can use their points and